welcome to Unity of Sun Lakes. We are going to begin this holiday season. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
We're going to begin our holiday season, December, with Christmas tunes. So if you'd like to stand and sing with me, with us, Joy to the World. We have our opening prayer this morning. It's going to be by Rev Jeanne MacLaughlin.
Dear Mother, Father God, we listen to your words that come through our lessons and our songs and our hugs that we just did. Your love flows through us. within us so that we can share it with the world. We thank you for all of our many blessings. And our past Thanksgiving was just beautiful. We want to thank you for our beautiful rain that we had and the grass that's so green that we can enjoy. No snow. Thank you, dear God, for letting us be here to hear your words. And amen. Thank you.
We have some newcomers here today. Anyone here for the first time?
I've been here once before, but not
Would
for a
you
long
mind
time.
introducing yourself?
I am Jeanine.
Hi,
How are you? I'm Barbara's niece, and I live in New Jersey, which I'm flying back to Snow tomorrow. So I'm praying. I'm here with my boys. They have twin boys who are 16.
Anyone else? I know we have some people that are here for this, that have come back, right?
I'm Sue, and this is my husband Hank. We just moved from Ahwatukee to Chandler.
Welcome. Welcome. Anyone else? All right, well, we have our welcoming statement. We want to welcome you here, so let's together say, we love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. Thank you for coming today. And then we will go over our mission statement this morning together. We are a spiritual center of love and light, teaching and supporting one another in transforming our lives by living the truths taught by Jesus Christ and other master teachers. Our mission statement. A world of oneness where all people are free to express their divine potential. Let's take that in for a moment. Let's see it in our mind's eyes. Especially here in our community, where we are all able to express our divine potential. And now we will begin with our special reading with Reverend Maria Blandy.
We have birthday Sunday out there.
Oh, I apologize. Who has birthdays in December? Any birthdays in December? You?
No.
Nobody?
Well, let's sing it anyway.
Well, Jesus, oh, you do?
Hey, how about let's sing it to the people who have birthdays in July and August that never get recognized?
Oh, I like that.
Okay,
Let's do that.
let's do that.
Anybody birthday in July? Julia. Bruce? August, July and August. Well, would you stand? John, too? Orlin, how about you guys stand and we'll sing? I have a... Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you are wonderful. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. I have another one. Play it again.
Okay.
This was written by Joel Barrett. Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you. Uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you with life and abundance galore. God bless you, my loved one, and have many more. Thank you, Joel. Now, special ladies coming up here. Oh, okay. All right.
Can everyone hear me? No. Yes, okay. I have taken the reading, so albeit from the Science of Mind textbook today. As many of you know, I am a religious science minister, so I trained in the science of mind. And so I wanted to share with you some of my favorite things about the textbook and what it's helped me to learn and practice in my life. And the first thing is I want to talk about Ernest Holmes a little bit. He had a really solid Christian background when he was growing up. A mother who read the Bible to them every single day, and they had to spend time in the Bible. So that influenced him a little bit when he began to talk about his creative process. And I want to talk about that today. You must know about the Trinity, which is the God and soul, and then the body. And he basically set his creative thought process on that. And so what I'd like you to picture today is a big circle, and we're going to split that circle into 3 pieces. And instead of being it's the creator, or we're going to call that top part the universal mind, which is one of his favorite things to call it. And then the middle is the soul, or it's actually the creative part. That's the part that he says goes out and makes the word that we put into the creator and brings it out into form, which is the lower part of that circle. So with that in mind, what we put in that top, what our words or what we think or what we feel goes into that creative spark, if you will, which sets it off into that middle ground of creative thought, and then it comes out in form. So I wanted to talk about his way of praying. He had a very specific way that he taught all of us to pray in the textbook. And it included 5 different steps. So the first step is recognition. The second is unification. The third is the declaration, then thanksgiving or gratitude. And the last is release. So I'll mention the first 2 together because I think they really belong together. The first, one of the things that we know in unity as well as in science of mind is that what we believe and what we think in here is what comes out in our experience. And we also know and are taught in unity as well as the other New Thought beliefs that we're everything, we're unity, we're combined. Everything we have is connected. We're creating with God. And so with that in mind, the first 2 steps are recognizing that connectedness of ours, to knowing what God is, that He is all there is. And then also knowing that we are a part of that God is in us and we are in God. So now that we know that, when we begin to pray, the other thing we need to know is if we're praying for someone else, we need to remember to put that person or thing that we're praying about into that creative soup, if you will, as well. So then we get to declaration, and this is really an important part because Ernest Holmes says, and I believe, that God He doesn't live in the past and God doesn't live in the future. God knows only now. So when we make our declaration or we say what we are, the first thing we need to know is that we know who we are. We need to accept that. We do not ask a God because we know who we are. So when we pray in the future knowing right now that I know, I am. So I am perfect health. I am perfect prosperity. And so we know that, and we know it hopefully with every fiber of our being, because the more power we can put behind that, the more it's going to go out there and work for us. So then it goes into that space where he says it's the creative process happens. And then we thank God. And right now we thank God and we know the truth. We know that we are that thing. So we thank God for that knowing. And then in the last step, we release it. And in release, that's basically showing our trust in the process, our process that we know. And so we release it and we just turn it over and we say, I know that this is true now. Now let's face it, sometimes it takes a little longer for that creative mind to work. But if we trust it and we just continue to do that and focus on that truth of our being, then we are going to be successful in prayer. So I also get to read the daily word today. So Christ awareness is born in me. Hope is the window through which I glimpse the good that is yet to come in my life. Feelings of hopefulness kindle my zeal, imagination, love, and perhaps most of important, my faith. As my hope matures into faith, I begin to realize that the good that I am hoping for is already mine. The journey to Christmas is our shared experience of the human story, of realizing our indwelling Christ presence. This journey begins in hope and faith. And as I start growing in spiritual awareness, I begin to feel hopeful. I learn that the Christ, the image, and the likeness of God is my spiritual nature. My hope for the future becomes my faith in the present as I celebrate Christ awareness alive in me and expressing. And from Hebrews 11:1, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen.
Now we'll go into our meditation time this morning with Francine playing music, and Tom Rothweiler will be doing our meditation this morning.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. The Spirit is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough peace for all of us. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. One Spirit is in this very room. Is in this very room.
What an appropriate symbol for my meditation. Take a deep breath, if you haven't already, and go into that God space, that place of silence, where you listen to God, converse with God, and hear what He has to say, what the universe is telling you. Envision world peace, peace in the world. No more pain, no more suffering, acceptance of ideas, no more conflict, no more strife, understanding of what others feel, what others are thinking, what others have values. Have tolerance, envision tolerance spreading throughout the world, where people live in harmony. Envision this for your community. Envision this for your country. Envision this for your neighborhood. Envision this for your association. Envision this for your family. Envision Earth healing. No more pollution. No more pollution put into the environment. Balance of nature. Calming of the waters. Reducing climate change. All people coming together to solve the problems that we are facing. Listen to God and do what He tells you that you need to do, and just be at peace and harmony in your own being. Take a few moments in the silence and contemplation. When you're ready, come back into the present, open your eyes, and be at peace.
And now we will say the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive those who
Lead us not
lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I just took a class on Unity Foundations, where we learned about the Lord's Prayer, and Jesus taught the Lord's Prayer on the Sermon on the Mount, and it has a whole new meaning for me now, a very dear meaning to me, that Jesus actually taught us that prayer. And of course, in New Thought, it has been, Eric Butterworth in this particular book broke it down to have such deep meaning. And so if you're interested, come talk to me about it, because it really can be the prayer, your prayer for, it's just a whole different way than how I was raised to say the Lord's Prayer. Okay, so we're going to get into some more holly jolly. It's Feliz Navidad. Come on up, Kay.
We have no microphone. Oh, okay. 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 No worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kay Davis. And Rev Julia, too. Hey! I don't know how you can sit down if you feel like getting up.
We have the Unity bells minus a few, but how about a nice round of applause? Come on. Now, if it's not fun, you know, you're always welcome after they sing their fabulous solos. You have to wait. Oh, she got the lights on. Okay, well, here we go. This is going to sound reminiscent of something else, but it's not.
I wanna wish you a lovely Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas with mistletoe and lots of cheer. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, yeah, sing it. Feliz Navidad, come on, you guys. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. We wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. We wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. We wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of our heart. We wanna wish you a Merry Christmas with mistletoe and lots of cheer, with lots of laughter throughout the year from the bottom of our heart. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Let's do one more. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad.
Who says we don't have fun?
I had an outdoor gig last night. Singing. Kind of tired. So that woke me up. Thank you, Kate, for bringing that up. So I started talking about the four-chambered heart in November, but I was a week late, if you recall. And I just really wanted to finish this series by, I know it's December, it's the holidays, but I really want to finish talking about the four-chambered heart today. And the fourth aspect of the fourth-chambered heart is the strong heart. So for those of you who have missed the first 3 weeks of this, we will go over it later. But we're going to jump right into talking about the strong heart. Now, the four-chambered heart comes from Native American traditions, where they used to really focus on all four parts of it. And when your heart is whole, then you are strong in the world. So, the qualities of a strong heart, what might they be? Got any ideas? Endurance, yes. Strong heart. Confidence, yes.
I would say love.
Big part of it, right? Knowing yourself is love.
Persistence.
Persistence, yes. Passion. So I got different words. Okay, this definition is a strong heart is resilient, courageous, bold, brave, daring, and fearless.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And those are absolutely accurate. However, in order to have a strong heart, it has to be something else first. So in order to be resilient, courageous, daring, bold, fearless, we must first be
Open.
transparent, authentic, genuine, real. Kind of four-letter words sometimes. Transparency, authenticity, genuineness, and realness. These are the ways of the strong heart. And when the heart is strong in these ways, then we are resilient, courageous, brave, bold, daring, and fearless. Or at least we're willing to step forward even when the fear is there. So I'm very aware that being transparent, authentic, genuine, and real can cause some of us to not feel very strong. But being transparent, authentic, genuine, and real can be very daunting. And that's why we need to talk about it. In fact, we may feel extremely naked and exposed when we're being transparent. It reminds me of a story about a new pastor who moved into a town, and he went out one Saturday afternoon to visit his parishioners. And all went well until he came to one house. Now it was very obvious that this person was home, but no one came to the door, even after he had knocked several times. So he took out a card and he wrote on the back of it, Revelation 3:20. And he stuck it in the door and he left. For those of you who need a little Bible refresher, Revelation 3:20 says, "Behold, I stand at the door and I knock. If any man hears my voice and opens the door, I will come to him, and I will dine with him, and he will be with me." So the next day, as the minister was counting the offering, he found the card that the parishioner had left in the collection plate. And below his card, he wrote the Bible verse, Genesis 3:10, which says, "And he said, I hear thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked." Okay, I'm not talking about that kind of naked today. But when we may feel naked and vulnerable when we talk about being transparent and real and genuine. Because what that means is we are spiritually naked. To be spiritually naked is self-revealing. It means that you don't just trot out the good, healed, and healthy parts of your personality when you are with other people. It means being willing to share all of who you are. So it means being willing to be vulnerable. Who's the biggest writer about vulnerability in our New Thought arena? I'm looking at Tony, she knows. Brene Brown.
Yeah, I can see her face, I can see her book, but I couldn't figure it
Yeah. So she's known as the vulnerability scientist. And this is how she describes herself on her website. Again, the name was Brene Brown. The official line: "I am a research professor at the University of Houston, where I hold the Huffington Endowed Chair. I've spent the past 16 years studying courage, vulnerability, empathy, and shame. I'm the author of 4 books: The Gifts of Imperfection, Daring Greatly, Rising Strong, and Braving the Wilderness." How many of you have touched upon these books? Good. Yeah. The bottom line, I believe that vulnerability, the willingness to be all in, even when you know it can mean failing and hurting, is brave. I do not believe that cussing and praying are mutually exclusive. And I absolutely believe that the passing lane is for passing only. She suggests and has shown scientifically that when we are willing to be vulnerable, we feel alive, we feel connected, we feel happy and strong. How about that? Isn't that true? She said that when she meets somebody on the plane, if she decides she likes them, she'll say, all what I just told you about herself, that she studies and everything. But if she doesn't like them and she doesn't want to talk to them, they'll say, what do you do for a living? And she'll look at them and say, I study shame. I don't want to talk to her. Brown's research has also shown how much we resist being vulnerable. And she describes in her book, Daring Greatly, that we put on a very heavy piece of armor to protect from being vulnerable. And we think that this armor makes us strong. I can tell you, people see right through it. And we're the last to know. Right? But in reality, the armor actually prevents all of us from being truly strong. And that is called the armor of perfectionism. Because we can sometimes get confused between our spiritual idea that we are perfect God, perfect man, perfect being, and then the concept of perfectionism. I really appreciate the descriptions of what perfectionism is and is not that Brown's research brought in. Here's a definition of perfectionism that bubbled up as a result of the research. Here's what it is not. It is not the same thing as striving for excellence. It is not about healthy achievement and growth. Rather, perfectionism is a defense move. It's the belief that if we do things perfectly and we look perfect, we can minimize or avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. Conversely, if we do things perfectly and look perfect, we will be appreciated, admired, respected, all words that we love. But most perfectionists grew up being praised for achievement and performance, grades, manners, rules. People-pleasing. Sorry, that's a hard one for me to say. That's where my perfectionism comes in, be a people-pleaser. So somewhere along the line, we notice, like I said, that we adopted this dangerous and debilitating belief system. I am what I accomplish and how well I accomplish it. And I will be loved based upon it. Therefore, I must be perfect. I must perform perfectly. That way people will love me. And so we spend our entire lives looking outside, looking for recognition, instead of just being inside and making that connection. So healthy striving is self-focused. How can I improve? Perfectionism is other-focused. What will they think? How will I look? In her book, Daring Greatly, Brown says, perfectionism is a 20-ton shield that we lug around, thinking it will protect us, when in fact, it's the thing that really prevents us from being seen. It is only as we are truly seen for who we are, when we are transparent and real and authentic, genuine. That's when we can truly be loved. And feel that love inside of us. It's only when we are seen exactly for who we are that we can know ourselves. And know ourselves as love, and then join ourselves with that which extends and then completes our love. That's the first part. So to go full circle back to our first aspect of the whole heart, which is openness. And it is when we are loved for who we are, that we are then resilient and courageous and bold and daring and fearless and brave. So to gain freedom from perfectionism, we must make the long journey from what will people think to I am enough. I am more than enough. I am more than enough, just as I am. And I'm willing to reveal who I am, just as I am. And I appreciate the beauty of my human imperfections. Remembering this, we are perfect spiritual beings, expressing imperfectly. Charles Fillmore, in Talks on Truth, he said, all of God's creations are perfect. If you stand aside and let the Spirit shine through you, you will see that you are perfect in every part. And so, my friends, this brings our exploration of the whole heart, wholehearted living to a close. In Native traditions, they feel that it is important to check the condition of the four-chambered heart daily. And they ask, today, am I open-hearted? Today, am I full-hearted? Am I clear-hearted? Or am I strong-hearted today? So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do a little review of the four aspects of the whole heart in a prayerful way. And I want you to ask yourself the question, is there one of these areas that I could use some support on? And perhaps it's a little less developed or has gotten a little less attention than all the other parts. And if you identify an area in which you find yourself, you could use some support, we have our prayer partner today, a very powerful prayer partner today, Reverend Tony Corrigan. And you can find her in the back room of the room over here after the service if you're needing prayer. And if there's a long line, I ask other prayer partners to help. So close your eyes and ask yourself, is my heart open today? Does it know itself as love? And does it regularly and often join itself with that which extends and completes its love? Is my heart full today? Is it, in fact, full to overflowing? And therefore, I am generous and I am fully engaged in the act of living. Is my heart clear today? Am I willing to forgive and make no assumptions, which creates a heart that is liberated and free? Is my heart liberated and free today? And finally, is my heart strong today? Am I willing to be transparent, authentic, and real? Which makes me resilient, courageous, bold, daring, and fearless. Open, full, clear, and strong. Which area could use some support? Be honest. Be willing to be vulnerable by going to see Tony after the service today and receiving a prayer. As Reverend Maria Blanding stated this morning, we are Unity Truth students. When we witness a weakness within ourselves, as we do, stand in that knowing of who we are and we thank God. May God bless you all. Let's say our affirmation statement as soon as Francine sits down. Together. I am a perfect spiritual being as I allow Spirit to shine through me. I am enough, more than enough. And now we'll have another beautiful song by Kay Davis and Francine Alexander.
Wait for me.
Great. All right, and now it's time for our offering blessing. Take our offering in our hands. We can place them on our hearts. I'd just like you to take a moment to think about this community and supporting this community so that we can continue to come together as like minds, expressing our own divinity, our own divine potential together. And so we take our offering on our hearts and we say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am so blessed. Thank you, God. Say together, we give thanks for these many blessings of today, and know they are but a symbol of the inexhaustible substance of the universe. I give thanks that 10 times this much is now on its way to me and quickly manifests in perfect ways. Thank you, God. And now it's time for the announcements. I do not see Christine Field here today. So we'll have to skip that one. But we do have our Reiki Share group this Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. in room A2 of Cottonwood Country Club. And our prayer partner today, as I said, was Reverend Tony Corrigan. Our holiday dinner today's the last day. Did you want to say something, Betty Tuzzolino?
Yes. Thank you very much. Got me. I just wanted to say that Tuesday afternoon I have to turn in the list of how many dinners we want of which sort and give them the money. So if you forgot yours today and you still want to participate, give me a call. My phone number is in our directory, or call somebody to find out, and I will meet you somewhere, or I'll come to your house and pick up your money. We want everybody to have a chance to participate. It's going to be fun. Where's the information on that?
Do you receive our emails? Betty said.
There is a flyer on.
Oh, we have a flyer on the table.
Has the choices.
We're having our board meeting December 19th at 4:30 at Kenny's house, and all are welcome to attend. Today is Matthew's Crossing Donation Day, and we have a box over there for collections, and there's also a food box outside to collect for Matthew's Crossing, which is one of the charities that we, yes.
Tony, can you do it? Okay. Tony brought in.
If you donate to Matthew's Crossing by check, you may have received one of these in the mail. There's a difference between your donation to Matthew's Crossing and, say, your donation to the church at tax time, because your donation to Matthew's Crossing is a tax credit. That means if you owed $500 taxes and you'd given $200 to Matthew's Crossing, it would be reduced by $200. So it is a different kind of donation, and we give because we love, and we give because we want to share, but also there is that.
That's Arizona taxes.
Yes, you have to fill out a certain form to be able to receive that tax credit. So that I have that too, that I donate to my church to receive spiritual food. I donate to charity because I am blessed and I want to share that abundance. And now we have a special announcement by this special man, Kenny, our president of the board.
Thank you.
Wow, you got to hold it.
Yeah, and I understand about the heart because I have 14 stents, and you have a special bond with the cardiac nurses because when I go into the cardiac unit, they call me by my first name. But I have an announcement today. It's with a certain amount of sadness, but also a certain amount of opportunity. And the sadness I also is with understanding, because I want to announce that Francine has informed me that she will be leaving us after Christmas.
What?
And I understand that all good things have to come to an end. And I am certainly going to miss Francine and all that she's done for us and all that she's given to us. And I'm also going to miss Jack because I found out that Jack and I knew the same people that he flew with, which were some Mormon ranchers out of St. George, Utah. He has a little more fond memory of them than I do. But they will be greatly missed. And that's one of the best things we can say about you, Francine. And you're always welcome to come back and join us and see us, both of you. Now, the opportunity, I have appointed Kay Davis to lead the search committee to find a new director of music. Francine retired as the minister of music. The new title of the person that's going to replace her, we haven't decided that as yet. But that will be done by the committee. So, and if you have any additional information, why you need to talk to Kay. Also, Jeannie's on the committee according to the bylaws, as I am. So, thank you, and keep us in your prayers, as well as Francine and Jack.
Would you like to say anything?
Hello. I really love it here, and I love you guys, and we've had the best time, and I still have a couple of 3 more weeks. I would have done this, but I had that big surgery, as you all know, in July, and it did it to me. That's it. I thought, you know how you think when you're 40 and 50, you just spring back from those things, but when you're almost 70, you don't so easily. And I'm in a lot of physical pain, and so the only thing that came to me in my prayers was that I really need to start putting my self-care first and leaving the work behind, because I have to share with you, my entire life has been about work first. And I've been so blessed because God gave me all kinds of talent. You know, He was real good to me. So I was able to make a living doing this, but now, hear me, I can't do it anymore. So that's why I'm leaving you, you beautiful people, and we'll be back to see you at church. And every once in a while, if you want me to sing a song, I'll be happy to do that. But I gotta not do that. So that's my thing. God bless you. I love you. We're gonna be doing a lot of fun things. Next week we got all kinds of good stuff happening, and then we have Earl Walker coming in a couple weeks, and then we have an incredible Christmas tableau. So you must come to church every week now so that we can be together. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
And now it's time for the peace song. Ernie's going to come up and lead us in.
Sounds good.